Hello, welcome back to the Abstract Thinking Podcast. We just started going, didn't we?
What's up, my dudes?
Welcome. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the 2020 election. We're going to talk a little bit about the candidates that have announced so far and our opinions about the race so far here in February 2019, in the earliest part of the primary.
I think we might do a couple more
This is
videos about these. We'll probably cover the Republican candidates, the Republican party, and a later video because so far there's only 2 announced candidates for the Republican Party, whereas there are 8 announced candidates for the Democrat Party.
Yes.
So we're going to cover the Democrat Party today, talk about our views on them, and talk about what we're going to think is going to happen throughout this election with them. Kind of going to give our predictions about it, and later on we might come back to talk about this. Later on, we're definitely going to cover the Republican Party candidacy once there are a bit more Republican candidates willing to try to fight Donald Trump for his spot. But yeah, as we were just talking about a minute ago, Matthew, before we started to go live, you just want me to name off the candidates that are running at the moment?
Well, you want to just talk about the important ones?
I mean, we could, but I think we should explain how we think the whole thing's going to go.
Yeah.
So basically, there are let me count real quick. 10 different Democratic candidates.
Yeah.
You got Cory Booker, who is the senator of New Jersey, one of the senators of New Jersey. He is, as Matt puts him, a corporate Democrat.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you explain who these people are because you probably know them better than I do, seeing how I don't follow the Democratic Party all that much. We got Pete Buttigieg.
Yeah, which is his name,
the funniest last name in the fucking world. He is a millennial and gay veteran, and he is believed to be one of the next generation Democrats. We got Julian Castro, who has no relation to the Castro family.
Unfortunately.
Not related to Fidel Castro. He is another one of the, as Matt would put it, corporate Democrats.
Yeah.
He also running as the U.S. representative for Maryland, John Delaney, who is probably going to lose very quickly because nobody knows who the fuck he is. Tulsi Gabbard.
Yep.
What do you consider Tulsi Gabbard, a corporate Democrat?
No, she's a real progressive. She just has a dodgy record because she used to be anti-gay and she used to support the Hindu nationalists and Modi, who's the dictator of one of those countries. But anyway, yeah.
Moving on, there's also Kirsten Gillibrand.
Yeah.
Who is, what was it? Did you say corporate Democrat?
Yeah, she's another corporatist, and she's really weak-willed in my estimation. I've watched a couple of videos of her talking, and it just does not seem like she's a fighter at all. So,
little bit of backstory on her. She used to be a conservative. She used to be more right. I didn't really like her as a person on the right. I thought she was a bit too centrist and left-leaning for me.
But I think she's wishy-washy. I think she's a flip-flopper.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
But she says she has a determined approach to fighting sexual assault and misconduct, and has led to conflict with some of her party. We have the corporate Democrat Kamala Harris, who is a cop.
Kamala's a cop.
A former district attorney and state attorney general. She has channeled her legal background during committee hearings, and in which she has grilled the Trump administration officials, creating viral clips eagerly shared by her party's base. So honestly, I think Kamala Harris is probably going to be one of the head Democrats. She's probably going to be one of the leading Democrats.
I think Kamala Harris is the new Hillary Clinton. I think she's the darling choice of the DNC. That's what my prediction is. I think she's the one that they're going to try to push on us.
Yeah. There's Amy Klobuchar.
Yeah.
who is what is she to you, Matthew?
She's a lame center left, like, you know.
She is a U.S. senator from Minnesota. She has won many of her elections in Minnesota and has gotten more competitive with each one of her elections.
And she's really authoritarian too. People don't know this, but if you look at her record, she is a supporter of the Patriot Act and NSA spying, and she like basically wants to build a police state, as far as I can see. So
yeah, she believes that Democrats could win back the Midwestern voters that they've forgotten in the past elections. Basically, since she is a senator from Minnesota, which is bordered with Iowa, she thinks that if she wins, the way she's going to go about winning this election is by winning the Midwest.
good luck.
Of course, we got Bernie Sanders, who is Matt's personal favorite.
Yeah, Bernie's my boy. Bernie, these billionaires need to pay their fair share.
As described, he's defied all predictions by going from an unknown senator to a national progressive icon. His signature issues have become the lingua franca liberals on this list. So basically, he is right now the most popular candidate in the Democratic Party.
Yeah, he's the most popular senator in the country.
I think that is going to change. I really do. He is the senator for Vermont.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, too, I think it's a little bit too close to me, in my personal opinion. I don't like Bernie. Then again, I'm not. As I'm pretty sure I've made it clear on this channel, I'm not a big fan of socialists.
Mm-hmm. Nick is a right winger. He's not a lefty like me.
I'm sorry, I like capitalism, like the economic base that I've grown up understanding and become relatively smart with. And
he knows his shit. Don't be fooled. He's not one of those dummies.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I know my shit when it comes to capitalism.
When it comes to fucking
Like it comes to a lot of things. I don't want to sound arrogant when I say that.
I'm just trying to be like, yeah, don't worry. Like, he's not one of those dumb right wingers.
And then last but certainly not least, Elizabeth Warren, the U.S. Senator for Massachusetts. She is another more progressive, as Matt puts it. I prefer to call them socialists. She's another one of the socialist candidates, and I think she later in the election will beat out Bernie, if anything. I really do. I really think with the way, like, I'm not trying to say this to sound, I know I'm going to sound like when I fucking say this. I think one of the reasons she's going to win is because she's a female. She's going to win out against Bernie is because she's a female. Because she's not as socialist as Bernie, which means she's going to get a lot of the more centrist left votes than Bernie is. Whereas Bernie's probably going to get only more of the more extreme progressive vote. And I really think the way Elizabeth Warren's going to beat that out is by winning the more center-left vote.
Well, here's a good way to describe it. The hard left is for Bernie Sanders right now.
But also some of the hard left is for Elizabeth Warren.
Well, we like her. She's just like second place. So Nick's prediction is the people who aren't hard left are going to go for Warren over Bernie.
And I mean, I think it's inherently, it's true that there are a lot more people who are in the center than there are far left. There are a lot more center left people than there are far left. That's basic math. And I think since there are going to be more voters that are closer to the center than there are to the outside, that Elizabeth Warren's going to beat out Bernie. That's my reason why I think Elizabeth Warren's going to beat out Bernie.
You think the identity politics thing will help her as well?
Yes, I definitely think she's going to win the feminist vote.
But I can see that happening, and I understand the logic, but like The issue with that is Bernie would have beat Hillary if the primary wasn't rigged, even though she was a woman. So
Yeah, but she was also a corporate.
the same thing could happen.
And I mean, I think Kamala Harris, if she has to, will do a similar thing to
Well,
Hillary.
Kamala Harris has a double whammy. She's like half black and a woman. So the identity politics people who see the world in that intersectional way would go to Kamala over Elizabeth Warren because Elizabeth Warren is white. So
She lies about being Native American. She's actually closer to being Mexican.
I think that hurt her a lot.
Yeah.
Hurt her name recognition, popularity, like reputation. Yeah, her reputation.
But I still do believe that the identity politics is going to beat out Bernie in the end. Because, like, as I was.
Because you think people are sick of, like, old white man on the left?
Kind of.
Yeah.
On top of that, I like, as the analogy I used earlier before we started this, Matthew, that like Bernie right now is a blazing like fire that is he has this flame that's burning really really hot
Mm-hmm.
and is burning really really big. But when you look at fires like that, that's fires right before they die reach that point.
Right.
Fires are their biggest right before they die. Out.
Right.
To ash. So I think Bernie is going to burn out his popularity too early, and it's going to lead to his downfall. Whereas Elizabeth Warren is she still has some of that flame to her. She still has some of that heat, but it's not as big as Bernie. I don't think she's going to burn it out as quick as Bernie.
Mm.
And I think Kamala Harris is in a similar position. Basically, what I was talking about, my prediction was that like most of the guy candidates, like Pete Buttigieg and Julian Castro and John Delaney, are all going to drop out pretty early.
Yeah.
And I think Tulsi Gabbard's probably going to drop out relatively early.
Right.
And
well, I don't know about that. I don't think early. I think she might further down the road, but I'm not sure. I think Tulsi's going to stick around. That's what I think.
Yeah, maybe during like the middle of the whole fucking primaries.
Right.
Maybe she'd last it to there, but I don't think she'd last past that.
She has a strong base as well of people who just want her.
Yeah.
She has a lot of support.
But I really think it's going to come down. And I also think Amy Klobuchar is going to drop out.
Yeah, me too.
Relatively early.
Because she's lame, dude. She's wishy-washy. She can't take a strong stance, and people who vote don't like that.
But basically what I think is going to end up happening is we're going to get Bernie Sanders versus Elizabeth Warren for the progressive vote. And we're going to get Kamala Harris versus Kirsten Gillibrand for the corporate vote. And I think Kamala Harris, with her growing popularity, is just going to eat Kirsten Gillibrand's popularity out. And Kirsten's going to drop out relatively early, like mid primary.
I actually think Cory Booker has more of a chance of staying long than Kirsten Gillibrand does.
Yeah. And I think like 3/4 of the way through the primary, I think Cory Booker's going to drop out. Because, yes, he does have that, like, isn't he black?
Yes. And he's got the name recognition out there. People know who he is.
Yeah, but Kamala Harris has more name recognition.
You're right, because Kamala Harris does more interviews. Yeah.
Also, she has videos on YouTube that are going viral.
Yeah.
And I really think like 3/4 of the way through the primaries, Cory Booker is just going to drop out, which is going to leave Kamala Harris as the only corporate Democrat.
Yeah.
Which means the corporate Democrats aren't going to be split anymore.
And that fits into my idea that she's the pick of the DNC and the corporate establishment.
Yeah, and the reason I think that she probably could beat out Warren and Bernie in the primaries is the fact that all of these other corporate Democrats, instead of like, oh, I support Bernie, oh, I support Elizabeth Warren, they're all going to be supporting Kamala Harris. We might, and I honestly even think Tulsi Gabbard's going to support Kamala Harris.
I think you're wrong about that. I think Kamala would go send her support to Bernie Sanders. Actually,
You mean Tulsi?
oh yeah, Tulsi Gabbard. Yeah, not Kamala Harris. That would never happen.
I feel like, honestly though, I feel like with the rising popularity of Kamala Harris, though, Tulsi Gabbard being like less progressive than both Warren and.
Well, I don't know about less progressive than Warren.
I think she's more center than Warren and Bernie. She's closer to the center. And honestly, I really think with the popularity that's going to be growing of Kamala Harris, Tulsi Gabbard might support her over Warren.
I don't know, dude. I think Tulsi's more principled than that. I think she can see through Kamala's bullshit.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of politicians don't have honor to their side.
I think Tulsi's one of the rare ones that does, though.
You think all progressives are the rare ones that does stuff?
Well, because they're the ones who actually give a fuck. That's why I originally liked Bernie. It's like this guy actually cares about common people and not rich assholes.
The corporate ones give a fuck about the corporate.
That's not giving a fuck, though. That's giving a fuck about your class.
Still giving a fuck. It's giving a fuck about something. It's just not giving a fuck.
But everybody gives a fuck about something.
Damn it. I'm texting. Fucking talk, Matthew.
I'm going hard Bernie Sanders on this election. I really, really, really want to see a Bernie presidency. So,
I mean,
that's where my support lies.
Honestly, I don't want to see Trump win the next election. But if it comes down to Bernie versus Trump, I'm voting for Trump.
Really?
Yep. I have to. I can't. I just can't.
You cannot bring yourself to vote for a real leftist thing. You can't do it.
I know. It's not that I can't bring myself to vote for real leftists. It's that I can't bring myself to vote for socialism.
But it's not full socialism.
It kind of is.
You still have private sector enterprise.
But it leads to full socialism.
But you still have economic freedoms. The whole economy is not going to be planned by the government under Bernie Sanders, bro. Nah.
I feel like Bernie.
He's not Fidel Castro, dude.
I feel like Bernie's more extremist than you think he is.
I know what he supports because he tells you right off. It's just free college, free healthcare, and the wars.
Like all politicians, Bernie probably lies.
No, dude, he's had the same agenda for his whole career. That's his credibility. Because he's been supporting the same shit the whole time.
Most of his fucking career, he was marching with Martin Luther King.
Dude, he was a mayor and then he was fucking senator, dude. He's done this his whole life. His record is credible, I'm telling you. He's not one of the liars.
But still, I really think that the infighting between the progressives, Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders, is going to be the death of the progressives in this race.
I think you're kind of overestimating the infighting, though, because honestly, I think I'm right about the fact that most of them will just go Bernie instead.
I don't think the progressives strategic enough. Progressive Party is strategic enough for that.
I think you'd be surprised.
And I mean, I think if
I'm trying to be an optimist this election, dude.
I really think if Bernie was as progressive as he seems, he wouldn't be running for the Democratic Party.
Well, he has to. That's a political calculation too, because if he ran for any other party, he'd get fucked over even more and wouldn't win.
I mean, I feel like he could bring like more fame to it because he ran for the Democratic Party last time.
Well, let me tell you something right now.
I think it would be very similar to Theodore Roosevelt's fucking running when he ran for the Bull Moose Party. The Bull Moose Party almost won.
Mm-hmm. Well,
fucking like he ran for the Democratic Party last time, yes, and he gained his popularity through that. But if he ran for a different, more progressive party, he would bring more popularity to that party.
Here's what I want him to do. If he loses, this time, again, is I want Bernie Sanders to form his own party if he loses. Because there were people calling for him to do that after 2016, too. They were like, Bernie, just make your own fucking party so all the real progressives can just vote in that party instead of the corrupt Democrats. That's what I want. If he doesn't win.
I don't know. I really think, honestly.
Because then that would be useful, dude. We would actually have our own fucking place instead of having to deal with all these corporatists in our own party, dude.
I mean, I feel like the corporatists are going, like, I really feel like the socialists aren't going to beat the corporatists in this election. I really don't. I really think Kamala Harris, based purely off of her identity politics, and her more centrist policies and views is going to be what wins this election for her. And honestly, like if I don't know,
people don't want centrism. People don't vote for centrism ever.
Yes, they do.
Then why did Trump win?
Because the Republicans vote for extremism. The left has been voting for centrists for the past 4 times they've won.
Dude, we didn't know Obama was a centrist till he got in office and fucked us over. The people who voted for Obama wanted him to do real progressive shit, dude.
He was still a really centrist candidate.
Centrist popularity is left back in the Bill Clinton
and
era.
even after he won the first election against fucking what's his face, John McCain, yeah,
rip,
dead man. Even after he won the first election versus John McCain and did all of this centrist shit, he went on to beat Mitt Romney.
Yeah, because
purely off of the identity politics.
No, because if you haven't noticed, incumbents don't lose, and they haven't for years.
Incumbents have been known to lose.
Presidents?
Yes.
Since when? Name the last president who didn't have 2 terms.
I honestly don't know the last one. I can name one.
Yeah, because it's been
Calvin Coolidge didn't have a 2nd term.
Well, when was he?
1908.
Exactly, dude. That was 100 years ago. That was a century ago, bro. That's the last century.
But still, I think the incumbent, even with that whole fucking thought process, Trump being the incumbent is going to beat Bernie.
Honestly, that's what I'm afraid of. It's just going to be Bernie versus Trump, and Trump's going to be like, oops, I'm the incumbent, so I won, because that just happens in this country somehow.
I really think if we get a good Republican, more centrist candidate, after seeing all the hate the Republicans have been taking because of how extreme Trump has been, I really think if we had Mitt Romney run again, Mitt Romney could beat Trump.
Are you sure?
Yes, because a lot more people in the fucking Republican Senate would prefer Mitt Romney and respect Mitt Romney a lot more than they fucking do Trump.
I actually have the literal opposite analysis right now. I think the only way a Republican could beat Trump is if they were crazier than him. Because I think when Trump won, he changed the game.
I don't think they need to be crazier than Trump. I think they need to have a similar fighting his side to them, which Mitt Romney has.
No, I mean more of an asshole. That's what I'm saying. Like more.
I don't think they need to be an ass.
I think somebody needs to out Trump to beat him.
I don't think so. I think
because dude, that sheer Trump just bluntness, bro.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. You don't need to be an asshole to be blunt.
But you need to be an asshole to be Trump.
And Mitt Romney is isn't an asshole, but he's just as blunt as Trump. He's just smarter with his bluntness.
Oh, dude, Trump would have a nickname for him right off, bro.
And Mitt Romney
him off the stage.
No, he wouldn't, because Mitt Romney is not the type of guy that would be bullied. He's not fucking Jeb Bush.
Well,
he's not gonna sit back and get fucking made fun of off of the fucking stage.
Well, did we think Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz and they were gonna be like that? Probably not. But that's what happened. I mean,
Mitt Romney, like I said, I think Mitt Romney would be even when he went against Obama and Obama did he played the whole identity politics to win that election. against Mitt Romney. Half the reason why he beat out Mitt Romney was because he would just he'd call him fucking racist and shit all the time. That's what he would do, literally. Obama called Mitt Romney racist in like 3 of his rallies, when he's not at all.
He probably supports policies that would hurt African Americans more than white people, though.
I don't think so. I feel like if Mitt Romney would have been president, he still would have passed the gay marriage laws. I really do.
Oh, I don't think so. I think the country would have took a different turn.
I really think we'd still have gay marriage if Mitt Romney was president.
You realize that whole Donald Trump is trying to make homosexuality legal everywhere is literally just a ploy to be against Iran. Like, that's what it's about.
I mean, I think Republicans are a lot less against fucking gay marriage now because they realized after they lost.
I think the only reason why they are is because the precedent has been set that it's okay because the Supreme Court decided that. The only reason why all these Republicans aren't homophobic outwardly anymore is because it's been legal.
Dude, I've never been homophobic.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the elected official Republicans.
I don't think so.
I'm not talking about the voters.
I think Mitt Romney would have been for the legalization of gay marriage.
I don't think so.
I do. I think Mitt Romney
probably actually even ran on a platform that said that
Mitt Romney fought. Mitt Romney's a veteran. He fought for the freedom to do shit like that.
Dude, fighting for the freedom is just a fucking empire lie, dude. They don't fight for the freedom.
I don't know. I feel like the soldiers fight.
Dude,
I feel like
Mitt Romney was opposed to same-sex marriage in the 2012 election.
Yeah, dude. And as you said, a lot of corporatists lie.
What do you mean?
I feel like
then there's no way to tell his real position, is there? Maybe he actually is for it. Maybe he's actually against it, even if he says vice versa.
I really think that I think Mitt Romney is one of the smart Republicans. I really do.
I think Mitt Romney is a fucking ass wipe, but
I feel like there's not enough smart Republicans anymore too. That's why I want to run for the Senate.
But there's a crazy book here apparently on Amazon. It says Mitt Romney's Deception: His Stealth Promotion of Gay Rights and Gay Marriage in Massachusetts, written by Amy L. Contrada.
Yep.
Sounds like a fucking awful book, but
I really think and one of the reasons why I think Mitt Romney would probably beat out Trump is the fact that you'd play to the left a little bit more than Trump would.
Really?
Yeah.
Trump speaks out of both sides of his mouth, though, bro. Like he sounded like a progressive for a while there. Like he can act like he's left wing. Trump can do that.
Yeah,
that's why some people were saying like maybe he's just a stealth candidate and he says all this racist shit to get elected and then goes in and actually implements like a Bernie Sanders type policy. That's what a lot of people thought was going to happen, but no.
I think Mitt Romney being like, what was I talking about to say? Wow, I just blanked, man.
Oh, dude, sorry.
Shit. You guys know that fucking feeling when you're fucking completely brain fart on something? I really think Mitt Romney could I'm still blanking, man.
I think Mitt Romney
yeah, I really think Mitt Romney would be able to play to the left as well.
Yeah.
After seeing what Trump has been doing and how Trump wants to build the wall,
right,
and shit like that, which honestly, let's be honest, he probably won't do if he doesn't get a second term. I really believe that Mitt Romney would play to the left to gain more of their support in the primaries to beat out Trump.
I don't know about that one.
Because let's be honest here, I really think a lot of corporate leftists would be all fucking for Mitt Romney if he played them.
Dude, I can't even imagine all the fucking corporate liberals, dude, just expressing support for Mitt Romney just because he was up against Trump. Because you don't understand. Most of these people's whole political ideology is
It's
just
to beat Trump.
orange man bad. That's all it is. The fucking NPC meme isn't even inaccurate, dude. That's exactly what these people are like, bro. It's fucked. It's fucked. I'm telling you, I get more mad. Like, maybe this is just overall. Maybe leftists just get more mad at liberals than right wingers. Like, it's so frustrating, dude.
Honestly, fucking half the shit right wingers make fun of leftists for is purely just to, like, get them pissed off, because we find it funny when liberals get pissed
I
off.
want to trigger the libtards. Yeah, that's honestly, yeah.
It's
Half the ideology of the left right now is just orange man bad, and half the ideology of the right now is literally just let's trigger the libtards. Like it's a war between two sides of fucking dummies, dude. Oh,
half of, like, a lot of the right wingers that, like, post really fucking right wing shit to piss off the leftists is literally just kind of just to troll the left.
they're just being trolls and provocateurs. That's all it is about, dude. They probably don't even think about like economics at all ever.
They're pulling a page out of the Milo Yiannopoulos book.
Exactly. And Milo was like actually a bad guy. Like he was not just a provocateur. He was a fucking ass wipe, dude.
I feel like I could pull off being a provocateur if I
I do
wanted to,
too.
because I definitely could provoke a lot
You
of fucking
definitely
people.
could trigger the libs, dude.
I mean, I feel like I kind of already do on this channel.
Probably. Shit.
Like, but for example, by saying that Kamala Harris is probably going to win the left, the left primaries, the Democratic primaries, purely for the fact that she's a black woman.
I don't know. I'm trying to be an optimist here. I'm trying to believe that what I want to happen will happen.
As I said last night, Matthew, optimism and hope are most of the time just idiotic.
But if I don't take on this optimistic framework, then I'm gonna be depressed about the election like the whole time.
Well, you're going to be even more depressed when Bernie and fucking Elizabeth Warren lose.
Also, I don't see the point of fighting for something if you don't believe in it all the way. Like I'm actually, it's not an act. I'm actually confident that Bernie could win this.
I really don't, like, if it comes down to Trump versus Bernie, I really think Trump's going to beat Bernie.
Just because like Trump has so much
I think
of the country that loves him. Yeah.
I feel like the fact that Trump is the incumbent, plus like half of the fucking right wing is literally just wants him there to troll the left.
Yeah.
Would be all very good reason that Trump could beat Bernie. Because literally all they want Trump in there for is to fucking piss off liberals.
Yeah.
That's all they want him for.
How many people who voted for Trump do you think voted for him out of spite? I think it's a large number.
I don't know.
Like they were trying to do a protest vote because they hated Hillary Clinton.
I mean, I feel like he got a lot of, honestly, and I know it's kind of fucked up to say, but I think he got quite a bit of like alt-right vote by saying he was going to build a wall.
He got 100% of the alt-right vote, dude.
He got quite a bit of the conservative vote based off of being a businessman and saying he was going to do good for the economy.
Even the center-right people, yeah.
And honestly, I think that's going to be a lot of the reason why a lot of Republicans vote for Trump again, is the fact out of all the terrible shit he's kind of done, he has done some good things for the economy. And they want him to continue doing that. Even though building a wall is kind of going to destroy all of it.
They want him to continue cutting their taxes.
Basically. But who doesn't want low taxes? Really, who doesn't want low taxes?
I don't want low taxes for people who already make millions of dollars a year, but anyway.
I think that's another reason why the socialists won't have a hard time winning, is the fact that they want high taxes.
In the right places, though. It makes sense.
I don't know.
There's a logic to a progressive tax
I think
code.
you have fucking socialists out there like Elizabeth Warren, for example, or Tulsi Gabbard, who just want a flat tax across the board.
I don't know, man. I mean, there's fucking centrists who want a progressive tax just because, like, it makes more sense to them.
Well, no, a lot of there's centrists out there that want a progressive tax because it's simpler math.
Is it though?
Yes.
Isn't it simpler math to just have the percentage be the same off all the brackets? That's
A
simpler.
lot of progressive
That's a flat tax.
people, yeah, a lot of progressive people on a flat tax, and it's a lot simpler to think, oh, they're taking 40% of my 40% of this and 30% of that and 20% of this and 12% of that.
Well, let me just explain my position about like my criticism of a flat tax is it would be too much on the poor people and not enough on the rich people. That's the problem.
Why do you think it'd be too much on the poor?
Well, because you just said 40%, and I'm thinking like that's probably too much of someone's income to tax if they only make like a couple thousand a year.
Even people who work minimum wage jobs make 20 grand a year.
Well, couple tens of thousands a year. Yeah.
So
You see what I mean?
So
Like
40% tax on that would be 8,000. Yeah, 8,000.
that's too much on that, I think.
So they'd
Because
have,
they're left with 12,000 and they still have to pay their living expenses.
and get this, if we brought down the minimum wage, if we brought down the minimum wage and raised up taxes a bit fucking more, the lower class gets taxed less.
Why is that? Because they make less money?
They're making less money, so they get taxed less.
But that doesn't matter in a flat tax situation. That's not
Yes, it
that's what
does.
I'm talking about.
Yes, it does. Because instead of making the 20 grand a year, or honestly more like 30 grand a year with the $15 minimum
But that's
wage,
just like
being
double
imposed-
entendre logic. Like that's like a sleight of hand. Like that's like trickery, dude.
not really.
They're paying less because they make less.
But overall, they still come out with more money in the end.
Oh, what?
Like look
What
at
do you
it this
mean?
look at it this way. Take for example, $15 minimum wage, like I said, and for like let's just say they make 30 grand a year, right? And then you have like $8 minimum wage, and they make give or take 16 grand a year. Yeah, 16 grand a year. Then you implement a just to make it easy on my mind, 20% tax on each, right? That 20% of the 30,000 is what, I think 6 grand?
Yeah.
6 grand.
Mm-hmm.
And then you take that 16,000 with the 20% tax. They're getting taken out 2,600.
Huh.
No, 1,600. I don't know. Let me do this real quick. Let me do the math real quick. I have a calculator on my phone. Okay, so what I said, 16 grand.
Yeah.
16 grand divided by, divided by 0.2. Whoops, multiplied by 0.2. So that's 20% tax. And take away 3,200 from 1,600, that comes out to 1,240, right? Or 1,280, I mean, right? Whereas if you take a 30,000 and then times it by 0.2, taking out 6,000, so one comes out with 24 grand, the other one comes out with what was it, 32? One comes out with 12,800, right? 12,008, right? And then when you put all that, you add all that into the economic growth, buildup of the minimum wage, which would, if you bring it up to $15 an hour, your cost of living is going to go up from what is it, $700 a month in Rumford to $1,200 at least, or 1,200 at least in Rumford. You do all that multiplication, you do all the multiplication there, and your cost of living is going to cost a lot more with the higher minimum wage.
Yeah.
Whereas if you bring it down to $8, the cost of living goes down from 700 to 500 At least.
I want to know how you can raise wages and decrease prices at the same time. That's what I'm trying to figure out in my head.
You really don't. Because when you raise wages, you force employers to pay workers more, right? Which means
Well, for minimum wage jobs.
You force for like, let's take for example Hannaford, where they pay the average worker minimum wage, right? When you have businesses like Hannaford who are paying minimum wage to their workers, they are forced to pay their employees more, right? Which means the business is making less profit while meanwhile having to pay more taxes. Pay more for the taxes, right?
Why do they pay more taxes?
Because if you're going to raise the minimum wage, you have to raise taxes with it to catch up. While paying more to their taxes, so they're coming out with less profit, which means either two things happen: they either lay off more employees because they can't afford to pay them, or they raise the prices of goods to compensate for the amount they have to pay their workers. So a jug of milk will go from like, what is it, like $4 to $7 with $50 minimum wage, I'm guessing.
So I'm trying to figure out like a good way to offset the inflation that results in this happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you do that?
You could have what you could attempt to do, but this would cause a lot more strain on the government, which the government's not going to want. But if you have, as you put, a real progressive candidate that's going to do this, I gotta call my dad.
Okay.
Basically, if you have a real progressive candidate, or what you believe Bernie will do, they'll offset the taxes by lowering the taxes a little bit for a brief period of time while the minimum wage is brought up. And what happens though with this, and what you won't like about it, is that these employers who make millions of dollars a year will be paying less to the taxes to the government. Meanwhile, they're paying more to their workers. So they're still bringing in a solid profit. Their businesses are still bringing in a solid profit while being able to support the price of these workers. And over time, what would happen is actually it would force the minimum wage to go down a bit, and if over time the taxes would climb back up. So instead of having a $15 minimum wage, you'd have a $13 minimum wage probably, and the taxes would go up probably 5%.
Huh.
This is just rough estimates on my part.
Right.
Don't take this into actual account. If you want to figure all this out, you have to do the math, which, keep in mind, is a massive amount of math. And I'm doing this all in my fucking head. It goes to show how good at economics I am. I'm going to take a call real quick. I'll be right back. Promote your socialism.
I'll promote my socialism. Okay, guys. So how do we win 2020 as the real left? I think one of the things we should do is to never forget that the point is in the policy. It's not in the identity of the person implementing the policy. So don't fall for identity politics. That's like rule one, okay? Because they're politicians. They're snake types, most of them, all right? So they'll lie to you and say to you things to get you to think a certain way. So don't fall for it. Don't fall for the propaganda. Don't fall for the identity politics. Don't fall for the bullshit. That's like a simple fucking rule. Like just stay strong on the goal, which is the policy. It's the idea.
Sad part is a lot of people can't do that.
I just want to put the message out.
I'm gonna have to go soon, dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we're gonna have to wrap this up.
Right now?
Yeah, basically right now.
Shit.
So, as I said on the last episode, you can comment on whether you want us to keep this going, which we probably are. Let's be honest. I can probably do the math a little bit better if we keep on talking about this in the next episode. If you want us to keep talking about this, or we can go into a new topic.
All right.
Up to you guys.
All right.
See ya.
Goodbye.